in this day and age, no, there's no such thing as a starving artist. Shout out to Rick Barker. You're not a starving artist. You're a lazy artist. And here's what I'm saying. You may be going hard on one thing, but there are other things around it that you need to do in order to make it pop, to make it shine, to make your music sell. Just you going out on the streets and playing your guitar, hoping to be discovered. And you going out there, well, I do it every day and I live this life. And if you're not shooting content, then ain't nobody going to give a fuck about you playing the guitar every day out there just on the streets.
What's up, y'all? Harcos here with the Music Making Sense podcast. And with me, as always, is the one, the only, the Mohawked one, KP. How the hell you doing today, KP?
You know what, man? I'm going to ask you, how are you first? But actually, I'm going to say this. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm feeling a bit, I don't want to say resurrected, but actually, you know what? No, I will say that, resurrected. What's up? Well, how you doing though, guy?
I'm doing good. Yeah. So for those of y'all who don't know, what me and KP, we normally do like a little bit of like a pre-show before the show or whatever. But he was like, I was like, how you doing? He was like briefly told me like a little bit. He's like, you know what? I just save it for the podcast. I'm like, okay, cool. But no, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad we did that pre-show as well too, because I got a call from my kids' school like right at the same time we were getting ready to go live. So there's that. But no, I'm doing good. I've just been networking and stuff like that. Last Friday night. Yeah, last Friday night I was featured on a podcast and stuff. I went and hung out with Hip Hop Radar Underground.
Shout out to Hip Hop Radar Underground.
Yeah, it was pretty cool too, because like, so Hip Hop Radar Underground, they do like a couple different shows a week and stuff like that. And on Friday, it's just kind of like a free-for-all type of thing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I've been talking to the host of it for a little bit, and then he said something, oh yeah, man, just come on in on a Friday or whatever. I'll pop you in with the Zoom or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So then, I got off work and I built I got a gaming chair now. It's very fancy. It's actually pretty fucking comfortable, man, because it's got like 2 different back cushions. Mm-hmm. In addition to like the regular chair, and then it's got a footrest. So like I'm sitting here with my feet kicked up right now, just kind of relaxing, and so it's a lot more comfortable than my old chair, where I kept having to like situate myself like that. Yeah, like, yeah. Well, it's because my readjusting. Yeah, well, I always readjust because I'm just a fucking weirdo like that. But like
I do too. I'm sitting on a keyboard. I sit on a keyboard bench, so I mean,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and I see your keys back there. You got your guitar and your drum set and everything on the background. Hell yeah. But no, my old chair, it was like 3 or 4 years old, and the cushion had wore out where my ass is to the wood. And so I had another cushion. I talked about that in a previous episode. I had another cushion on top of it, but it just wasn't cutting it. Right. But anyway, I hopped on with that, and it was pretty cool, man, because like there was multiple artists in the chat and everything like that listening along, and I
even hopped in.
Yeah, KP even hopped in and everything as well too, right after he got off work. And we it was pretty cool because I got to like do like a live review of somebody's YouTube channel and gave them a couple of pointers and stuff like that. And they're like, oh hell yeah, thank you, I appreciate it, you blah blah. So it was pretty cool to go in there and just kind of shoot the shit and bullshit, and just I wasn't only there to to market and talk about marketing stuff or anything like that. I was just sitting there just talking shit, just hanging out, saying dumb shit, talking about music, just being real with all of them and everything like that. And some of them
Sack Juggalo's hella cool too, man.
Yeah, Sack cool Juggalo. Yeah, the host of it, Sack Juggalo. He's pretty cool. But yeah, we were just sitting there, just like shooting the shit. I was shooting the shit with people in the comments and stuff. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, I picked up I can't remember if I told you already that I was working on one website for a podcast.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. And then I just picked up another one last night where I'm going to be building the website for a podcast as well. And then I got one artist that is like on the fence right now about ready to pull the trigger on getting themselves a website built. So definitely been helping out some people. And one cool thing I did too is I did some research by making a post on my personal Facebook, because I got a bunch of artists and producers and of course you have all those like fly by night graphic design people on there.
Yeah, of course. They
their
on my
name,
Instagram a lot.
yeah, their name is always something that has to do with tunes or art or something like that. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean, it's branding. You gotta tell people what
Right,
you do,
right,
right?
exactly.
But yeah, like, I got a bunch of them on there. So I was like, I posted, I was like, hey, producers, uh, I got a bunch of artists on my page always looking for beats. Drop your links down below or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And so, like, I had a bunch of producers start messaging in there and stuff like that. And so I was asking them, I was like, hey, do you post your snippets as reels? And
Right.
a few of them did, most of them didn't. And like this thing
Mhm.
has over 100 comments already on it, which is crazy for shit on my traffic on my page. 'Cause I usually don't have that much.
Right.
Normally I'll have like between like 10 and 50, on average, but it's got over 100 comments and growing. And I like there was a few of them that do post reels. And so I was like, all right, tag me in your reels and I'll fucking reshare them to my page, stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I told him, I was like, it's like I'll watch it all the way through. I'll like
Mhm.
it. I'll comment something genuine on there, like engaging in there, and then I'll also share it too. So I'm giving all kinds of value just for them tagging me, which obviously, yeah, that runs up my interaction on my page. But it's
Right.
also I didn't do it for that. I wanted to do it as like a case study. And to
Mm.
see out of all these producers out here that when you say producer roll call, basically, all the ones that'll like post up their YouTube or their SoundCloud or their BeatStars or like some other, outside
Platform. Right.
outside of Facebook link, right?
Right.
Whenever they posted that, I was like, okay, that's cool. Do you post snippets on Facebook in the reels? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Ooh, good question.
Then it
Good
fucking hit a
question.
lot of them in the balls. They're like, oh
Oh
no, I
yeah.
don't. They're like, no, I don't do that. I'm like, well, why not? You know what I'm
So
saying?
I'm gonna make it. Hold on. You know what I just sat here and thought of when you just said that was
What?
Friday with rest in peace John Witherspoon when he said when Ice Cube said I ain't trying to be a dog catcher. He said why not?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I just thought like just that
Yeah.
reaction and them like why not? You asking the
Yep.
producers that like you just that'd be a cool little
I
like
mean,
video if you did that like you just put up that why not?
Yep. Yep.
Because that's a great
Exactly.
question.
It
Like,
is. I
sissy,
mean, yeah,
really great
why not?
question.
Like, why would you not? And like,
Yeah.
you know, especially when you go and scroll through their page, because I was scrolling through their page too, just to see, and then I was asking them the questions when I already knew the answer, type of thing. And
Right.
I was scrolling through and I see them like almost every one of them that
Mhm.
don't post reels also had one other thing in common, which is where they would post text posts bitching about not being able to find serious artists. And so I was like, I'm seeing a correlation here between their effort and
And a
finding people with
trend. It's
this
like
with the
almost
other effort.
yeah, it looks like a
Right.
trend of them doing that.
Yeah,
It
you
just
gotta
seemed like,
give
yeah.
effort to get effort. Now, sometimes the ones that do post reels, they will say something in a similar realm,
Mhm.
but that just means that they need to tune themselves a little bit more. It doesn't mean that they're not putting in the effort enough. You know what I'm saying? Because they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Right. They're doing so yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and all right, y'all, Harco's here. I just want to take a quick little break from the episode to let every single one of you artists know about a great opportunity for you to grow your online presence through blogs and social media for 30 days for only $10. If you've already been checking out the podcast, you know I've already talked about this a little bit here and there, but I created 10 blog websites that all have their own social media presence on Twitter and Facebook, and they are growing leaps and bounds, getting tens of thousands of impressions and eyeballs every single month. And that's just not in total, that's every single account. I have a full video breakdown available for this on every platform where you're listening to this right here, right now. The episode is called How Much Marketing Can $10 Get You? All right, I go through a full explanation of it, but if you've already watched that and you want to find out more, go ahead and go to musicmakingsensepod.com, send me a message in chat, and I will get right back to you, and we will get this rocking and rolling and get you growing on social media, especially if you want to grow that presence on Twitter or X. this will definitely help you out. Like I said, I got 10 blog websites with 10 different Twitter accounts that have tens of thousands of impressions every single month. You can be right there with them, getting all those eyeballs and growing your presence online. So make sure you hit me up right now, musicmakingsensepod.com. Hit the chat button and send me a message, and we will get you on point with this great new promotion. All right, let's get back to the episode. Because, I have been shifting to focus more on trying to help producers and stuff, even though I'm not a producer. But like I said on the last episode, since being a producer is like an e-commerce thing, I know e-commerce pretty well, and it's a lot easier to help them grow at a faster rate than it is, a lyrical artist, because, with producers, their main product is beats. Well, there's a fuck ton of artists out here always looking to lease or buy beats. So there's always a market for it.
Very
However,
much.
when it comes to being a lyrical artist or performing artist in some way, there's not a lot of people out here looking to buy music to consume it, because the culture is a stream for free culture, right? So it's like, why would I pay for something I can get for free? And I completely agree with that. I do the same shit. But it's just like, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, so one is going to be a lot slower pace. And I don't mind putting in the time and coaching somebody for 6 months, a year or whatever to get them to growing well. However, they don't always want to put in the time to see that slow growth, because I've worked with artists before and stuff, and so has KP. And when they're not seeing the stream counts go up, then they think it's not fucking working.
This so ties into what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
But what they don't see is they don't see their interactions going up on their social media and that going up. That's what has to go up first, is your social media interactions, and the quality of what you're giving people following you on social media has to go up. And then the correlation is your streams start going up. Your streams on, and then it's not just like on Spotify and Apple Music. I'm talking about, your music video views on YouTube and shit like that. You have to be engaging in the right way to get that going up. And then once people start getting to know you more, then they like you, and then they trust you enough to go and click your link to go listen to your music and stuff like that. But you gotta keep giving them something, and so that's something where a lot of artists don't always want to do that long, slow grind, especially when they're sitting here paying somebody for the coaching services the whole time or whatever, and helping them, manage all of that. I get that 100%, because they're not seeing the financial return for their financial investment. I get that, but it doesn't work like that. But that's why I've kind of shifted a little bit to producers, because they would be able to see that quick return. And so I'll be able to offer more value to people and help them. And then obviously at the same time, I'm still communicating with artists, and then I can connect artists with producers with artists, stuff like that. And I can kind of get like a big symbiotic relationship going with them, and with me kind of being like right there as the connecting piece and stuff. And so that's what I've been working on. And I actually just connected an artist today with a couple of producers that I've personally worked with, not off that list, over 100 different comments and stuff like that, not off that list. I tagged them into that as well too, and said, hey, check out some of these artists or these producers and stuff. But then I also connected them with a couple of producers I personally worked with for like years now, like 4 or 5 years. And so I was like, hey, check out these people. I can 100% vouch for these people. All these people on this list over here in this post I just tagged you in, I've never worked with any of them. So it's kind of a roll of the dice. However, you got a fuck ton of options, And so that's what I'm trying to work on building, is kind of building that network to where it's not like how the Facebook groups are, where it's a lot of spam and shit. I'm actually trying to build something cohesive, with kind of me being the center of it, in a way, because, I can help connect people, showing them that value. And it's, it's free. It's easy for me to connect people. just be like, hey, tag somebody, boom, done, easy, and building that relationship. And then that's just free transaction, just building that trust with them, and then kind of go from there on, me helping them with their marketing strategies and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been working.
Yeah, man.
So
That sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, I've been working. I've been working on trying, like I said, trying to grow the podcast, because there's some other podcasts I've reached out to about me going on with them and stuff, and those are coming up. But yeah, Sack Juggalo over at Hip Hop Radar Underground, he was like, yeah, just pop in on a Friday, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'll hop in on this Friday. I got shit to do. I got stuff to do, but like I don't have
Right.
pressing stuff to do.
You got pressing.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, like I got stuff I could do on the computer besides be on a live stream, but I'll take an hour or so, be on a live stream for a few, kick
And that's
it.
promotion. I mean, that helps. And I think, and for you, I think that was, and shout out to you for doing that. And I want to say this because, and it's it's definitely ties into where I'm going to go with this side of with my side of the music, where I've been focusing more on getting into sync licensing and things like that. But I want to share something with you guys that happened with me recently. And I want to share it with y'all because I feel like certain things that go on in life, that go on in our lives personally, does affect us as artists. And what can we do in order to make a turnaround, or to not move the goalposts, and to keep our focus, and also maybe something that happens to us that gives us a resurrection and a wake up. All right. And I want to share this with you guys because I know it's going to be important. Right. And so to get started with, as Hardcoast was I've been watching Hardcoast do the work as far as getting into live streaming, and understand that for him, that was something that was tough to get into. And here he was able to get on a live stream. And when I saw it, I came home. I just came home from work, and he hits me up and says, hey, I'm about to get on a live stream. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, right? I'm like, this is cool. So I go on. So I was able to become a moderator. And shout out to Sack Juggalo, man. He's hella cool. Really like the guy. He's a hell of a stoner like myself. So big up, So that was really cool for him.
Yeah, I think I was the only one not smoking that whole fucking feed.
Yeah. I was actually like, I just got home and just texted. So I was just kind of getting myself, I was actually eating.
Right.
And then when he came on, and then you came on, and it was really cool to watch you get on there, and then and see you go to work. Like, and this is a chance for you to see him go to work live, and to see you go under there. It was like, hell yeah, man. Like, big up to you, man. I was really proud of you for that.
Right.
But to let you guys know, with me, this is where, again, you said something you said something about how working with producers, you're finding like a niche, and also you're like, it's like you're solving this problem, right? That's happening. And I started thinking, and as you were speaking about it, I started thinking about myself and what I'm going through, and the resurrection I was just told you about, but I didn't thoroughly go into. So recently, guys, I just came from California last week, Monday. And let me tell you, Harko saw it. And you guys see it too. When you watch our last episode, dude,
yeah.
I was on a California high. Not only was I stoned, but I was fucking on a Cali high. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
Let me just keep it 100, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, but here was the thing. And when I came back, and as time went, time when I went to work, and yesterday, my queer as a $3 bill black ass came out on you yesterday. Okay, let me just be real with y'all. Okay, yeah, dude. Okay, I would just be real, babies. Listen to me, y'all. Uncle KP went into work, and already prior to Sunday, I got called in because boss lady need me in, and me, I'm the type that if boss lady calls me in, I'm not going to say no. I can't say no to her. I love this woman. She's one of the greatest bosses ever. I seriously, and she's pretty, of course, but she's just absolutely amazing. Okay. I'm just going to put it out there. And I know she, like I said, when she calls me in, I'm not going to say no. And I came to realize there was a pattern with me on that. And let me explain. I start getting away from what I am truly blessed to do. And shout out to Allen Iverson. He said this: when you are not doing what God has blessed you to do, you shall suffer.
Yeah.
Okay. And me going away from not it be just because I wanted to have a job, get a part-time job, because I felt like, you know what, the music situation, I was like, oh, whatever, right? And not really doing something you just said. That producer who does, they know, it's not that they weren't putting in the work. It was just they weren't doing things in a way where it's like it's the consistency. They weren't being consistent with it, and they were just kind of like, and they didn't know really what to do. All right.
Yeah, and sometimes I wonder if they don't know what to do, or if they don't want to do what they have to do. They're trying to find an easier way, and I'm perfectly fine finding an easier way.
Find an easy way. But that's what the problem is. And here's the thing. It was funny that you say that, was because I realized, and again, I love Men's Warehouse. I think it is an amazing company. So I have nothing bad to say about the company. But I realized that yesterday when my Queer in the $3 bill black ass went off, okay, it was because a man had on some square toe boots, y'all. And Uncle KP do not like no motherfucking square toe boots. Let me talk to you. And child, he told me that he had bought them for $300. And I turned around and said, you paid $300 for them ugly ass boots. And shout out to Jordan, but Daddy, I love you. I miss you. I'm sorry. I put him in the compromising position. He was like, bro, you can't speak to the customers like that.
Right.
And I felt bad. And here's the thing, babies. I'm going to speak on this, man. My heart was in California. My heart is still in California. Let me speak on it.
Right.
And I know I need to go there and be with it. But I'm also in the middle of selling my home. I'm going to go ahead and sell it because I've already been dealing with this is the second time I've dealt with foreclosure. And I realized that I'm not cut out to be no goddamn homeowner. Even at 49 years old, baby, I'm not. All right. But I also realized this, and I'm going to send you my video. I think I tagged you. Yes, I did tag you. It was a video of me on that. Yes. Baby, let me tell y'all. Uncle KP went out on that stage at the Taxi Road Rally and annihilated that motherfucker. Do you understand me, darlings?
Yep.
And it's that moment. And when I came back here, I said I miss California already. But also, I realized, and Hark and I have our differences when it comes to live shows. But he knows, but here's the thing. He knows, and everybody else who knows me knows that even the mother of my babies and my babies themselves know that they papa belongs on stage.
Yeah.
And what I've learned with sync licensing, just what I've learned, and what I didn't get a chance to really talk about that, and I was going to go live and talk about just specific things that I learned, but I realized that I was also holding myself back by having a job working for a corporation.
Yeah.
Because of scheduling. Even though I'm part-time, and I'm not complaining about my paycheck.
Right.
But I also realized that if I did the work When I sit down and do the actual work, the music, creating the music, being out there performing, I also got a gig coming up, a drumming gig coming up on the 19th. So, right. And I got other opportunities to write music with other artists that I collaborated with at the rally. But this 19th, I'm going to be playing drums with an R&B hip hop artist.
That's dope.
Hell yeah. Shout out to my boy Strings EMB. So y'all be able to check that out. I'm gonna shoot some content. I need to get myself a new stand so I can shoot video of us performing.
Yeah, and have it on the side or have somebody there standing.
Having somebody stand there doing it, or I can actually get someone to hold my phone and do it for me. But that's going on, and then I just going to this conference, guys. The things I learned about sync licensing and being able to do instrumental cues and utilizing my very own voice to create sound and sonic branding. Like there's something I wanted to share with y'all, especially I want to tap in to sonic branding. Like that was something I really wanted to tap into as well. But to tighten up to clean up the rest, or to make a long story short.
Right.
I realized, babies, that I am a musician through and through. Whether it's writing for film, television, or if it's going out there performing. It's what I love to do. And it's not that I just love to do it. I'm blessed to do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you as artists, I don't care what anyone says to you or what you're going through. You will always, no matter what, you will always go back to what you do best.
Absolutely.
Always.
I got a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like when you're not doing the music, when you're sitting there working at your job and you're putting your effort and your creativity into your job and you're not putting it into the music and stuff like that, do you feel almost like you have like a tight vest on and you can't fucking move and you're just like, God damn it, just let me fucking loose? Mm-hmm. Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah. And then check this out, guys.
I feel like that all the fucking time.
And here's the thing. They cut our hours.
Yeah.
They cut our hours. So I'm getting less. I'm getting the less hours. Like I only work maybe one day out of the week, but I also noticed that there would be a pattern of call outs. And like I said, I know I can't say no to boss lady.
Right.
And when it's time
to cut your hours, but then you get called in for call outs and you're getting your hours back. Fuck it, And
yeah. And I'm like, I'm a part-time worker and I'm like, and I thought about that. I said, you know what, man? If I'm trying to get that way out, because I'm looking at the money, and I said to myself, okay, but dude, you've made money doing music. You just need to do the damn work.
Yep.
Period. And I thought about the deadlines, because here's the thing. There are deadlines to do syncs. Okay. Right. I got a couple of them now after we hang up and I get the video to you. I gotta get back to work on these sync deals, right? Because I gotta send them jokers in. You become, when you do sync, let me tell y'all, and another thing I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are a musician, if you are a composer, and you said producer, if you are a composer, producer, songwriter,
any kind of creative musician, yeah.
Any type of creative musician. If you love to create sounds, if you like to do stuff like, dude, you need to become a sync licensing musician. Period. Because now what you're going to have to do is that you're going to have to work. Because now you're going to look at, dude, if I'm working from 11 to 6 on Sunday at Men's Warehouse or wherever you work. And again, I love you, Men's Warehouse. Please, boo-boo. I don't hate y'all. Y'all are an amazing company. I just think some of the men that come in there, motherfucker, they really need to. Y'all, I would think Men's Warehouse could do some goddamn fashion consulting classes, because some bitches come in that motherfucker. Child, let me tell you. Oh, they be making me grow a goddamn ear on my forehead. Like, child, I do not want to hear this or deal with this right now. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it real, yeah. But dude, I have to say this, and I really want y'all to really go to conferences. Okay, music conferences, especially dealing with sync, because you got to deal with those deadlines. And when you got those deadlines, and now that the strike is over, we got to get to work. And I come to that realization, and it's like I'm sitting here and I'm listening to reference materials and things like that. And if I got to work 11 to 6, and also somebody's going to call out during the week, and I'm in the middle of writing a tune. And like I said, you know that I'm not going to say no to Boss Lady. I love the woman. She's awesome. But I got to think about what I got to do. I am a musician. I can't give my time to them like that.
Yep.
I need to get to work. If I want to get out there and I want to make the money, because here's the thing, you get a sync deal. There's some deals where you're able to get $40,000 up front, and then you got the royalties.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that'll
think
help float
about
you a
that.
couple weeks.
Bro.
Yeah, that'll help float you a couple weeks.
Okay.
Right.
And then you thinking about that. And then not only that, but as a musician, if you want to gig, you got to get a vehicle. All right. That is an investment you need to make. You need to get a vehicle.
Get you one of those vans that you can convert
SUV
you get one of those.
I say an SUV.
Yeah, well, you get one of those
conversion vans,
the Sprinter vans, and you like fucking throw like a little bunk in there and shit like that, and you can travel around. You don't have to worry about hotel and shit.
Sprinter vans are nice.
Yeah, you get it, especially if you get like a diesel Sprinter van and stuff like that. They get a little bit more miles per gallon and stuff like that, and then all that fun shit. But yeah, man, you just have like an inverter on there and stuff like that, and you turn it into like a little camper. Like Tom Green has one. Obviously, he's not a musician, but he has one.
He has one. Yeah, I know that.
He's like going all around. His is obviously really fancy, but you can just have like a regular Sprinter van, and you just drive it around or whatever, and then you just park at a truck stop for the night or whatever instead of at a hotel. And then at a truck stop, you got everything you need. You got showers, all that shit, Yeah. And so you can travel around if you need to, and then you don't have to worry about hotel expenses and shit like that. You just pay the insurance and the gas in your fucking car, maintenance and shit like that. I mean, you obviously got to have like a oh shit something broke fund,
right?
But
and if you want to go spend some money on a hotel, like if you could, here's the thing, you could save, which is a good idea, because you can save up, and you want to maybe you say, you know what, man, I want to lounge in a telly. I want to kick back, watch some TV, like, you know what I'm saying? Just kick my feet up on a goddamn bed, king size plus whatever, right? You can save the money if you do that. You travel like that,
right?
You can be able to save. Yeah, you can have those options and being able to save the money to where you can have that one night and kick back. Like, hey man, I got one of the big last shows. You know what? I just want us to chill, man. We had a good tour last show. Let's go ahead and chill in the hotel, get some service, whoop-de-whoop, have fun, go drink at the bar, right? That sort of thing. Okay, but being able to look at it from that perspective and say, look, man, as a musician, there's so many ways we can make money. We just truly have to do the work. We have to do, especially now that we're in the time that we're in, dude, we can make this a job. All you jazz artists, Kurt Elling, I love you. Shout out to you, one of my favorite jazz singers in the world. But darling, when I read that interview you did, and you said that there's no money in jazz, I damn near cried, because I thought about it like this. I said, dude, we have the internet. You have podcasts. You can sell your own merch. You can start your own clothing line. You can do e-commerce. You can teach, you can do so many things,
Yeah.
and all you got to do, and I'll shout out to our Action Bronson. And if you guys ever get a chance, watch on YouTube, Creative Minds, because Creative Minds showed us how Action Bronson was able to take his very talent. And not only did he didn't become a marketeer with this, but he took his love for cooking, love for his being that Queens guy, and he started getting into the gym culture, and he also he's got a freelance contract with I think AEW or WWE, but he's able to take all these things from just and be able to create his own. He created a niche. And now it's like he's been able to just do things within his own realm, and he just used his very talents.
And he uses interest. And that's exactly what I tell artists to do all the goddamn time is okay, you got your music, okay? You know, if I was talking to Action Bronson, you know, before he started doing this, or even right now, okay, so Action Bronson, he's got his music, right? People know him for his music. But then guess what he's also got? He's got his food thing because he fucking loves food. That's why he's 700 pounds. And then he's got it.
But now but he's losing weight too because he's getting healthy with the coach.
And why is that? Because he's got the love for the gym portion. So now he's bringing that in. So he's showing love for food, even being a bigger person. But then he's also working on that. So he's showing that and showing how the gym culture is good and healthy, and how health is good, and how that ties back into your food that you eat. And so then he's also being an advocate for big people who want to get small again or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or get healthy. And
or stay that size so they could go wrestling or do things like that.
Whatever the situation is. Yeah. But see, he is being more than just a singular thing. He's being diverse. And that's what I keep telling every artist to do. Every single one of y'all listening, be diverse, man, because he's fucking doing it and he's killing it. And people are like, oh yeah, but he made it off of music first. Yeah, but he also, but what I think is that he pivoted to those other things because of the time we're in now. When he first started with music, he really couldn't put out all those other things. He had to be music only.
Yeah.
But now with the way that the internet is, where people want authenticity, where people don't want singular things anymore, they want diversity, and that's what they go for. That's what they go after. So that's what you have to be as an artist. Episode to let every single one of you artists know about a great opportunity for you to grow your online presence through blogs and social media for 30 days for only $10. If you've already been checking out the podcast, you know I've already talked about this a little bit here and there, but I created 10 blog websites that all have their own social media presence on Twitter and Facebook, and they are growing leaps and bounds, getting tens of thousands of impressions and eyeballs every single month. And that's just not in total, that's every single account. I have a full video breakdown available for this on every platform where you're listening to this right here, right now. The episode is called How Much Marketing Can $10 Get You? All right, I go through a full explanation of it, but if you've already watched that and you want to find out more, go ahead and go to musicmakingsensepod.com, send me a message in chat, and I will get right back to you, and we will get this rocking and rolling and get you growing on social media, especially if you want to grow that presence on Twitter or X. This will definitely help you out. Like I said, I got 10 blog websites with 10 different Twitter accounts that have tens of thousands of impressions every single month. You can be right there with them, getting all those eyeballs and growing your presence online. So make sure you hit me up right now, musicmakingsensepod.com. Hit the chat button and send me a message, and we will get you on point with this great new promotion. All right, let's get back to the episode. Would want a jazz music intro, you know, and then you can flip it to them for like, you know, you do a custom piece for like $200 or $300 for them or whatever, right?
Exactly.
You know, and you just give it, you know, there you go. And then you find some other ones who could use a new intro and stuff like that as well.
Well, and you know, and that's straight, and it's cool you said that too, because here's the thing it just hit me. My getting upset with the square toe boots.
That was just like your final straw. And I get what you're saying with that. Position.
Right. But here's also the kicker. It shows my love for fashion. I have a love for fashion that I never thought, and again, shout out to Men's Warehouse, Real Men, Real Style, and Gentleman's Gazelle, and my man Jeff the Style OG. And also, it's funny you say that, but Jordan Peterson has a really good sense of style.
Right.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
There's a lot of people that dress well. Yeah,
dress well, and I saw that, and I said to myself,
other people.
but but that's the cool thing. And like right now, I just got on this little cool looking this. It's
like a shirt.
Hoodless. It's a hoodless like almost like it's a hoodless tracksuit. Yeah. So it's like I can put my hands right in there, and it's got the number 88 on it. You can barely see it, but it's really like it's a really cool looking cosmic. It kind of has this
astronaut suit look.
Yeah, or what we call Afrofuturism, or like this almost like a rivet head industrial. Yeah,
Afrofuturism. That's
Afrofuturism. Yeah, and it has that look to it, and I really like it. It's really avant-garde. And when I rock it with other stuff, or just like right now, because I was like, I just want to have on something besides my hoodie.
Right.
And because I'm fashion conscious, right? Be thinking about those type of things. So I come to the realization, like, that's another thing I can really touch on is fashion. Because as an artist and as a musician, I think fashion is everything. I think your image is everything. I really do. So, and me having a mohawk and just all that stuff, right? I just said to myself, I'm like, number one, it's okay that I can be, if I want to be, and I know homeboy tried to come at me like, money don't make the man makes the money. Tried to hit me with some bullshit preachy bars, but I said, nigga, the motherfucker still ugly as hell that you spent $300 on. The fuck you talking about, right? But it's that passion that I have for fashion. And it hit me, and I realized that I'm like, yeah, it's there. Because also I was getting compliments on my style at the rally.
Right.
And mind you, when I went, it was chilly. It started getting a little chilly, and I had some little cute fits that I wanted to rock, and I skinned and bared it. But I also started thinking in my head, if I had a certain coat with them, I would have been able to rock these cute fits that I did have.
Right.
Those type of things were going through my mind, right? And so artists, what I'm saying to you to really just, and I know I'm expending on it, but I think it's just something that we need to really talk about, is that it's just what you were saying with producers. Okay. You need to put out things that showcase who you are. Because I mean, being a producer is a niche, right? And like you said, unlike vocalists, unless you go into sync licensing. That's why I tell y'all get into it. And also sync, if you're a vocalist and you like to do hooks and vocal lines and things like that, right? You can also go on BeatStars. Put your stuff on there as well. Okay. And it's when you start learning about the business and you start seeing things that you can do besides feel like you're going to struggle as an artist in this day and age. No, there's no such thing as a starving artist. And I'll say this again, and I'll shout out to Rick Barker. You're not a starving artist. You're a lazy artist.
Yep.
And here's what I'm saying. You may be doing one thing hard. You may be going hard on one thing, but there are other things around it that you need to do in order to make it pop, to make it shine, to make your music sell, right? Just you going out on the streets and playing your guitar, hoping to be discovered. And you going out there, well, I do it every day, and I live this life. And if you're not shooting content, then ain't nobody gonna give a fuck about you playing the guitar every day out there just on the streets trying to busk.
They're gonna think you're homeless. They're gonna think you're a vagabond and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. if you're not busking and put, if you're not going to busk and do it in a way where you're trying, if you want to be discovered, then hey, why not showcase that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're
And
gonna
there's
have
the,
way more people being able to potentially see it on the internet than you would
mm-hmm.
in any city. That's why I tell people all the time when they got that city first mentality, I gotta be known in my city before you gotta be known locally before you can get known globally. I'm like, not anymore.
No.
That used to be the way, but that's not anymore because now you have 8 billion people on the planet and growing unless we have a world war. And then you also have 3.5 billion of those 8 billion on the
On the
internet
internet.
and growing.
Yep.
And like it's like 1.5 billion people speak English as at least a second language, if not a primary language. Or no, 1.5 billion speak as a primary language, and then you have another like half billion to half billion or something like that speak as a second language, maybe a little bit more. Either way, that can at least comprehend English and fluent. So that's over a billion people, right?
Yep.
There's no city in the world that has a billion people.
Nope.
I think like the biggest one is like 15, 20 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even getting into 100 million in the biggest city. So you have, is people are so short-sighted. They only see what's right in front of them. They don't see the bigger picture beyond that, and just like what you said, and just like what you said with, sometimes what's right in front of you is blocking your view and you don't know it. You're trying to look around, but it's so big in front of you, you can't see it. You can't see past it, and dude, I get 100% what you're saying. The reason I asked you is do you feel like you're like fucking like strapped up and you're trying to break free? I feel like that all the goddamn time, man. Like I run a restaurant right now, and most of the time I'm by myself in there because it's a smaller restaurant and stuff like that. And I'm in there and like it'll be dead for a little bit. And I got everything taken care of. I'm like, all right, let me go hop on the computer and knock out some shit or whatever. Or I got some shit that I need to take care of. I'm like, okay, I got to get this taken care of. So I go hop on the computer. I'm working for like 2, 3, 5 minutes. And all of a sudden somebody comes in. And so like trying to be creative and then getting stopped mid creative, it just fucking makes me want to murder people. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what you were basically saying as well, too, is that you'll be sitting at home working on some shit on supposedly your day off. And somebody calls you in and you're like, well, fuck, I don't want to leave them hanging high.
You won't. Yep. You won't say no.
Yeah. Cause you're like,
you're not.
You're like, I'm a good person. I don't want to fuck somebody over. They need me, right? Somebody needs me. I want to help. I'm a helpful person. And at the same time, it also helped my bank account. So it's a win-win. I'm getting helped and I'm helping people. Yeah. But at the same time, you're also trying to do something that will help other people and help your bank account at the same time. So now you're shifting from what you're basically doing is you're saying, I'm going to go with a more sure thing that
quick hustle.
You're like
the sure quick hustle. Yep.
You're like, I'm going to go with a sure bet that won't make me feel as good inside, as opposed to a long shot that will make me feel great inside, whether I win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you win, though. Yeah, that's something that a lot of artists have a problem with. I mean, I'm right here with you. KP, you're doing the same thing, and half y'all listening are probably in the same situation, if not more. All of the artists who are working a regular job, and trying to make it and stuff like that, it's tough because you're trying to do so many things. And then if you got kids on top of that and a relationship or something, just add it on. You got, an elderly family member, add that on, all of your responsibilities in life. It makes it just that much more difficult, but with today's, the way things are today, if you try to focus, and sometimes you need to get somebody to help you focus. But if you focus that and you're like, okay, let me do what actually matters the most, what can actually get me moving in the direction I want to go. And you start doing that in your spare time when you're doing your creativity and stuff, instead of just being like, oh, I just need to keep writing and producing music. It's like, how about you try marketing your music better, the music that you already have? Because, one thing I saw, Wendy Day say this, but I've said this for years, but like, Wendy Day was talking about, she runs into artists all the time that are saying, oh, well, I got to come up with new music because I can't be putting out my old music anymore. And I've said that the same. And she's like, well, just because it's old to you doesn't mean it's old to other people. And I've said that for years as well too. When I'm talking to artists, they're like, oh, well, that's my shit from last year. I'm like, the first time somebody heard your music is the first time somebody has heard your music. It doesn't matter. You know, I've taught it here on the podcast before. It took Nelly 4 years of hustle and grind to get Country Grammar to pop.
Yep.
So how many people were listening to Country Grammar more than one time in St. Louis before, you know, and then all of a sudden they heard it on the radio. They're like, fuck, I've heard that a million times. Right. You're going to have some people that'll be tired of it by then. But guess what? When Country Grammar popped and motherfuckers started hearing, you know, they heard hot shit come up on the radio here in Indiana, they're like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? Even though it's a 4-year-old song or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And and you know, people here went fucking nuts.
But here's the thing too.
Nelly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. You just need to market it right and keep going and use that as your focus.
Yeah, because that song, because there are people who are like, man, that song need to be out right now. That song need to be blown up. So when you get that, think about it like this, y'all. All right. When you get a song like that, even just, I mean, and let's just when you get a song that people are listening to, and I don't care if they haven't listened, if it's been out for 4 years, people want that song to be heard worldwide. Trust me, the person who's listened to it first is not going to be like, man, I'm tired of this song. I don't want to hear it no more. Unless you just one of those people who I've actually met who was like that. It was a ex-girlfriend's band. It was a band member's ex-girlfriend who was like tired of us playing the same songs at a show. But at the same time, what she didn't get was everybody hasn't heard these songs. They didn't.
And the thing is too, is that you're going to have some of those people that will get tired of it after a little bit, but those are the people that won't stay around even if you put a new song out.
No, exactly. So don't worry about them.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Put the song out, and to push it, if you know it's a banger and you feel it's fire, even shout out to Piff Marty. Piff Marty said that too. If you know if you feel it in your heart that this song is a banger, this song fucking rocks, this song you know that, then continue. And again, if you are a musician and composer and an instrumentalist, you need to get into sync licensing. If you produce sync licensing, here's why. You will find a place for your music. Okay. And another thing is putting out instrumental albums. If you are one of those, you need to put out an instrumental album. Why? Because instrumental albums are used a lot. Okay? Samples. People are going to sample. So if you have an instrumental album and you use that to say, dude, guess what? You got a great chance of people out there you got a great chance of making a lot of money, especially if they love your shit. So put it out there, guys. And also, you got to do the work, guys. Yeah. It's just, I mean, I'm serious. Like, if you want to create, you got to create music. Plain and simple.
Yep. You got to create and you got to put it in front of the right people who want to hear that, who want to use that. If you're a producer or whatever it is, you know, and KP and me, we're working on all different kinds of things to help you guys out with resources and stuff like that. KP's, you know, he's still building it. The thing that he's building that we talked about last week, where he's building a full thing on how to do the sync licensing and everything like that, and what he learned from the Taxi conference, is pretty extensive. So it's going to take a few to get that out. It's not something we can just do in like 2 seconds, but we're going to get that put together for y'all. It's going to be up everywhere that you're listening to this right now. And I'm still putting out all kinds of stuff and everything as well. You know, that's what we're here for. We're here to help every single one of y'all with bare minimum ideas and different thinking. You know what I'm saying? If whether you give us a penny ever in your life, if you're listening here every single week And every time we drop any bonus content, you're listening to that, and then that's at least creating ideas in your head, or you're even implementing that as well. Then that's that's perfectly fine
Yeah,
with
that's
us,
right.
man.
Yeah,
That's what we're
absolutely.
doing it for. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yeah, we're trying to progress ourselves as well, but we want to help all of y'all. So if
Hmm.
you're listening here and you're getting great ideas and great information out of what we're doing and everything, use the hell out of it. And
Hmm.
then share it with a couple artists that you know as well too. You
Yeah,
know,
because this is such, because here's the
mhm.
thing, guys. Yeah, you're like, well, y'all just getting started. Yeah, we want, because, and also, yeah, we're just getting started in certain projects. But hey, if we're able to put y'all on game, like, yo, check this out, dude. This is cool, right?
Mhm.
Hey, you're also getting a chance to get your hands in the cookie jar as well, if you will.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And if you want to say, oh, we're just getting started in certain avenues, it's like, okay, well, have you even done that avenue?
Yeah.
So, okay, so now we know more than you. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now let us help you.
Yeah.
You know, having the defensive of, you know, having defenses is pointless, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, take our information, use it to the best of your ability. And if you need any help with any of it, hit us up. You know,
Hmm.
as we always say, you can go to musicmakingsensepod.com, and there's a chat option right there. Drop us a message, or, you know, check out with us on any of the socials. Drop a comment wherever you're listening to this right here, right now. Obviously, if it's on one of the, like, the podcast platforms, you really can't, but if it's on YouTube, you can do a comment in there. But yeah, just go to bare minimum, go to musicmakingsensepod.com,
Hmm.
drop a message in the chat and stuff like that, and we'll get with you and we'll help you out. No problem, you know,
Yeah.
because that's what we're here to do. Whether it's the free information that we give to you right here that you can take and run with, or whether it's some of the more intensive stuff that we sit down one-on-one and build custom for you and the plans for you. We're here to help you out, you
Yeah.
know? And yeah, we're helping ourselves at the same time. We're trying to build ourselves. You know, KP is trying to figure out, okay, you know, if you guys been listening over the past couple of weeks, you know, he's been like, hey, I'm kind of shifting away from doing like the management with artists, and I want to start getting back on stage more and stuff like that, and start doing
Yeah.
sync licensing. So he's wanting to do that more for himself. But while he's doing that, he's learning so much shit and
Hmm.
dropping the knowledge over here for y'all. So if y'all want to do the same thing, he can help out. And, you
Yeah.
know, and then, but, you know, like we've always said ever since the first episode, you know, yeah, I'm a white dude, you know, Harkos is a white dude who loves hip hop, and KP is a black dude who loves metal. And so
Yeah.
there's that diverse dynamic that me and him have, but then
No one
also
else has.
no one else
No
has
one
that.
else has it.
But then also, you know, he loves live shows and performing, and
Hmm.
he just loves being in front of people and doing the art. And me, you know, and then so he loves doing the art and stuff like that, but then he
Yeah.
also likes helping people too, but he really loves the art more.
Yeah.
Me, I love doing the art, but I like helping people more, and I'm more
Hmm.
back in the back. I fucking don't like stage shows, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So we bounce off of each other like
Yeah.
perfect. So when you come and listen to us, you're hearing different perspectives from different things, and not everybody's going to resonate with either one of us, but us together, we can help you get that whole path. Because if you are like KP, where you're like, hey, I don't give a fuck about the business shit, I just want to get out here and rock these stages.
No, no, no. I have to say this. I gotta say this, Papa. I
Okay.
do. Okay, just to kind of clear up.
Oh,
I
okay.
do care about the bit. I love the business side of it. Here's the thing. I
Right.
do love the business side of it. But what I'm saying is that for me, it's more like
It's more
I want.
fulfilling.
It's more fulfilling to be an artist who knows the business,
Right.
and then I'm able to share instead of me trying to make money behind the scenes, like being more into marketing and doing like marketing and A&R and managing and things like that, and even coaching. No, I like being an artist who knows the business, works with other music professionals in the business, but I understand the ins and outs of the business to where I can get out here and perform with a business mind, but be a performer. And that's what I want to do. So no, I do love the business side of it. I just don't see the need of trying to make money on the business side. Like I said, as a
Right.
marketer, as a coach, a teacher, and those things, I don't
Mhm.
see that I need to do that. That's just
Right.
like, I don't see I
I was
need to
yeah,
go.
I was
Yeah.
generalizing a little too much, but
Yeah. No,
there are
I understand
yeah,
what you were saying. You're kind of like,
yeah,
okay, it's like you just, yeah, it was a generalization, but I
right.
understand where it came from.
Right,
So
but
that's
there
why I
are
did want to clear it
yeah,
up.
but there are a lot of artists, not you specifically, but there
Right.
are a lot of artists who are further down that road than you who do not give a fuck about the business.
Yeah, they
You
don't.
know, they just want to focus on the stage show portion
Yeah.
and the creating of the music portion, you
Mhm.
know, and that's where you are doing all the experimentation with sync licensing and with, you know, doing these connections with all these other artists and going up to these conferences and rocking out on the conference randomly and shit like that. Like all that kind of
Yeah.
shit, you know, there's something for everyone. You've said it a bunch, you know, there's a spot for everyone in this music industry. There's
Yeah.
always a different position you can be in and stuff like that. If one doesn't work out, there's other ones that may suit you better. And that's where me and KP, we really blend off of both of those things
Mhm.
to have like a holistic, well-rounded approach to everything, you know, with having both elements of it. You know, when there's things I don't know about, I ask him. And when there's things
Same
he
to
doesn't
them.
know about, he
Yep.
asks me, you know, especially when it's in the opposites of what we do. You know,
Yep.
whenever when I have producers ask me about sync licensing, I'm like, hey, KP, you know,
Yep.
you know, because I've looked into it a little bit, but he's actually been doing it. So
Mhm.
it's different than me learning about it and then him actually doing it is a different skill level, you know.
And when it
But
comes to the numbers and dealing with that stuff, I like dealing with just trying to be more informative. I look for Hark.
yeah,
I look to Hark for that. When it comes to like him breaking down his feelings on certain aspects of the business, like with the Spotify and the mergers and things like that, I really look at his perspective, even though I am aware of them. But I really like to hear his intellect and intake on it
mm,
because he has a side of it that most of us won't look at, right? And that's why I also
yeah,
shout out to Bacon Bits. If you guys ever check out Bacon Bits on Instagram and TikTok, he broke down like how Spotify is how Spotify, everybody's taking Spotify the wrong way, but he's trying to break down on how it's going to work for artists in an advantage.
mm,
I'm good. So if you get a chance, go ahead and watch that, Hard, because I would love to hear your take on that as well. Because I think I think that would be a very interesting take on interesting concept on it. So that's where, guys. So again, where Hark is saying, like, there's so much that we can all do in this business, but just remember, guys, we all have special talents, gifts, and skills that we can contribute to this business, and that
mm,
we can share and learn from each other in it. All right. And and know that our music can be used in other industries as well.
mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Music makes the world go round.
Yep.
And if you need any help with anything, keep tuning back in here every episode. Share the
Mm-hmm.
hell out of all these episodes and everything that we're doing here with other artists that you know who could use the help. And if you need anything further, hit us up and we'll
Yeah.
help you out. Absolutely. So until then, until next time, until next bonus content, next piece of content you want to listen to, been another great episode. As always, KP fucking really spelling it out. A lot of y'all artists can resonate the hell out of what he was just saying.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to elaborate on it anymore.
Cool,
Because
man.
yeah, so y'all have a good one and we'll
Hell
see you
yeah.
on the next episode.
Holla, y'all.
Yeah.